Hi all, Hipper here. Today it's Albemarle Day, and I'm as usual using my William Tennant build here with Azure Lane Baltimore and Müller for a totally agile build on this ship, which I really like. And I think I can say it now that this ship here, Albemarle, is quickly becoming my favorite researchable cruiser in the game. Well, researchable tier 7 cruiser, I should probably say. Up until now, that throne has been held by Martel pretty much since the ship came out. But I am starting to agree with myself that Albemarle is better in pretty much all situations. But I will do a head-to-head very soon once I've actually made up my mind. Now, I hear a lot of people saying that this ship is too squishy, and I still have a lot of trouble understanding that. Like for me, that bow doesn't matter at all. And yes, the bow is squishy. So obviously, if you bow tank in this ship, you are not playing it right. As simple as that. And as I'm sure regular viewers will know, if you put an agile build on a cruiser, you shouldn't really be concerned with what your bow armor is, because there's no point in bow tanking when you can evasion tank. Wichita is probably the only exception to the rule, because it is just so good at bow tanking that you might as well make use of it. So yeah, if you research this cruiser and your first worry is thoughts about overmatching and what battleships you can bow tank and which battleship you can't bow tank, then either this cruiser is not for you, or you should definitely not put an agile build on it then, because that just won't work. Like Albemarle is all about angling the side armor. Very similar to Nelson, actually. Nelson is very easy to Citadel nose on, and it's pretty much the same with Albemarle. You just have to get the angle of the armor correct, and it's kind of hard to explain, because of course it depends on so many factors, like the angle of the enemy and how many enemies there are, and like stuff like that. It's pretty difficult to explain, but once I do my in-depth in-depth head-to-head with Charles Martel, I will try to explain it as well as I can, I guess. So in other words, if you put Fraser or some other damage-focused commander on this cruiser and you play it like a Wichita, well, yeah, you're not gonna like it. Definitely not. It's simply not that kind of ship. I'm sure there are other ways to play it, like a concealment build and stuff like that, but I think an agile build worked wonders on this ship here. It's one of the best for an agile build, actually. Even though it's not very fast, it only goes 38 knots, but you still have 2.7 second rudder and incredibly fast turret rotation. I haven't seen many other reviewers actually touch upon this, but with this build right now, I think I have less than 18 seconds rotation time, and that's without the upgrade that improves the rotation. If I put that on, I can get another 15% off that rotation, and I mean that is just that's just out of this world. Charles Martel with that upgrade on, so the turret rotation totally maxed, is just above 20 seconds. So Albemarle is 10% faster even without the upgrade, and that means you can just wiggle your way around in this ship so well. You will never outturn your turrets, and you can change your sides very easily, and that's one thing that's starting to make me consider putting the actual turret upgrade on this ship. I have been playing around with it, and it works well. The plus with that is that you can cut the turret rotation down to probably 14 seconds or something like that, and that means that turning the turrets from starboard to port will be faster than turning the whole ship. And what that means is incredible for someone who likes agile cruisers, because it means that you are able to turn around, well, not turn around, but turn your ship the other way and have your guns ready to fire before you've finished your turn. I haven't dabbled a lot in this yet, but it is a very powerful little secret this ship here has. Of course, it only really works if you have an agile build and tenant on this ship here, because you need the ingenious skill to cut down the turret rotation enough. But if you do that, you can see here my turrets are moving faster than I'm turning the ship. So in like one-on-one battles with destroyers and stuff like that, this is just an amazing skill. And in combination with torpedoes and the fast rudder, this is one hell of a brawling cruiser, actually, which you'll see later in this video as well. Now, yes, Albemarle can brawl, but of course it's not something I do unless I absolutely have to, because it is still a cruiser, and it is still squishy, although it is one of the tankiest ones out there, actually. If you treat it right, if you treat it correctly, that's very important. Now, situations like this is what puts Albemarle apart from Martel. For example, this destroyer here spots another destroyer, and unfortunately he loses track of him, but I'm around and I have a radar and I am able to help him out. Now in Martel I would have to move up closer within sonar range, and that would mean exposing my broadside to the battleships on my right, so I wouldn't be able to support this destroyer here. But in this case I can, and this is an incredible plus for this ship here. Of course, Wichita has the same thing, but Wichita doesn't have torps. And yeah, I think this ship is incredible. So the Sims is in trouble here now. That Benson isn't giving up, and he has the two of us to contend with. So he's in trouble. And it's situations like this where the radar comes in handy, and I just missed that kill there, but so be it. So if you can set situations like this up, that's where Albemarle will just totally rule the battles. Now this is a very fun battle, this one here, actually, because we're very even in terms of players and ships and the actual progress of the battle. If you can see here, we're pretty much at the same spot. We both have 5 ships left and 2 destroyers left, and of course my team still has a cruiser, that's me, and that cost the enemy team a destroyer just before. And now I've put this Nelson here in my sights, and of course he doesn't like that. Nelsons are very flammable, and the HE on Albemarle is not to be underestimated. I think I've mentioned it a few times, but the HE damage and the fire damage is the same as a Targo. Now we'll just shoot some torps at this Colorado here while he's preoccupied, and it was a gamble to get all the way out there, but I have my ingenious skills, so I know the second he would target me, and nothing happened at all. So I can put all my effort into burning this Nelson here instead. Now, in the beginning of this match, I forced my way into C cap because, well, I always do that. I want to capture the cap right off the bat. And if you remember, I did that by pretty much sitting in cover and just waiting for a potential destroyer to get into the cap. And then, of course, fire off my radar to put him into a pretty nasty spot. And early on in the battle, the battleships are so scared of destroyers that it's unlikely they're going to push in to make my life miserable that early. So here we have a classic Nelson here. He is just about to die, and he seeks out the nearest cruiser, hoping to get a kill. And that's just something you have to live with when you are playing cruisers. So we need to take a cap now, and while the destroyer is doing that, he's in a better position to do that. I will get rid of first this Chambar here. It's not very difficult. He's almost out of the game anyway. And then I'm not really sure if I should turn in here and take on the Colorado, because I really want to get behind him. But unfortunately, I choose to take the long way here, which means that he actually gets to cap, and it's a bit of a mistake on my part. I should have taken the slow way in here and keep him from capping. But that's okay. I make up for it because I just go in here and I challenge him for the cap. Now, the reason I make a mistake here is because I have no way of resetting the cap. I was expecting that Massachusetts in there to survive a little bit longer than this. I mean, it is a tier 7 versus a tier 6. But unfortunately, that wasn't to be. And I'm just trying to use my radar here in the hopes that I can spot that battleship, so I can prepare as soon as I come around the corner to shoot him and then reset the cap. Unfortunately, he's just outside the radar range. And I'm just coming around the corner here, and he just disappears. It's a bit of a downer, but that's alright. I know exactly where he's going, and I have half my health left, plus 2 heals left with my agile build here. And the heals on this thing are just insane. Another plus it has over Martel. You can pretty much build a new ship if you of course get the right type of damage, and it's quite satisfying, I'll tell you that. So I'm only using half my torps here because I just want to see if I can hit him, because I know he's coming around the corner here. So this is where you need to angle correctly. Now I'm just firing off a few torps first because I know his guns aren't trained, and then we make sure we avoid his shots there. And as you can see, I am angled the way I should be, minimizing the hole in my bow that leads to my citadel. And again, I'm using his reload time to fire another bunch of torps here, and I make sure I turn in before he's got his guns loaded. And see there, we take it all on the belt, and he is out of the game. So don't bow tank in this cruiser. That is not going to end well. You need to wiggle, and you need to take any shots fired at you on the chin. But of course not a flat chin, I mean not your flat broadside, because then you will get citadeled as well. So it's kind of an art to it. So with this battleship gone here, we got the remaining points we needed to win this battle here, and we would have won anyway because the destroyer took Cap A, which was wonderful. It was so much nicer to see people play the game like this, where the destroyer goes and does something like more useful than hunting battleships. Of course, there's nothing wrong with hunting battleships, but in this case, going for A cap was exactly the right play. If I got killed or sunk by the battleship, the destroyer would still win because we were wearing both belt and suspenders, so to speak. So really, that's the way to do it. Thank you, Mr. Destroyer Man. I forgot your name, but that was a great battle, this one here. So now I am just popping off my radar because I think the Destroyer is over here. And I'm not sure if this guy just like lagged out or just gave up or whatever, but unfortunately I can't kill him. He's in a bad spot. But give me another 30 seconds and it would have been a 4-kill game. So that's Albemarle for you guys, and I cannot recommend this cruiser enough, especially if you're a player who don't want to buy any premium ships. Then this tier 7 cruiser is pretty much as good as it gets. So yeah, great ship, and I'll see you out there.